that sound is the sound of my jacket being dragged in the wind. This wind is relentless. So I am in some McDonald's off the coast of France, bumming some Wi-Fi and electricity, and also warming up as it's gotten quite cold. Really, it's the wind. The coastal wind has been absolutely brutal and freezing and been really hard to bike through. And I looked at the map, and I'm only 142 kilometers away from Marseille, which means I'm way ahead of schedule. And Marseille is my last stop before I bike to Toulon and get on the ferry. So as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking I might just pull an all-nighter and send it. It would get me there 2 days early, which would give me a day and a half to see France without being on the bike. It would get me out of the coastal winds as they die down significantly in the evening, which would make my life a lot easier. I would set a new personal record, as it would be over 220 kilometers in 24 hours, which would be pretty cool. But it's also, I'm a month in and I've gotten it dialed down almost to a procedural level. You know, I bike 80, 100 kilometers at 5 o'clock. I set up camp when it gets dark, and I do it over again. And so I've kind of wanted to break that routine as of lately, and push myself a little bit more and kind of just make an adventure out of an adventure. So yeah, I think I might just Lachlan Morton it and get it done. So it's roughly 7 o'clock and it has gotten significantly colder and the wind has not died down. But I think the plan is just to go ahead and go as far as I can. If I see a campsite, I might consider it. If not, just see how far I can go. And in preparation for being exhausted and kind of getting that fuzzy brain, I have reorganized some of the bags to be able to find things very easy when I'm tired, like chapstick, gloves, things like that, so I don't have to think about it too much. And also I'm about to re-lube up the chain and clean the cogs to make it hopefully a little bit faster. So I think it's time to head out and see how many kilometers I can do by 9:30 tomorrow, which is when I started today. And I'm off. So it begins.
Now turn sharp left, then again turn sharp.
I doubt you can see anything, but it's the first time I have hit lights. And if you can't see anything, it's too dark, I'll just throw up pictures of France and flamingos or something. But first hour is done. The wind was atrocious and I only did about 10 kilometers. So at this pace it'll take me 14 hours. So I'm really hoping that the wind goes to sleep here soon. We can only hope. So I just got to bike inside a castle walls,
through this little hidden town in the middle of the night. It was one of the cooler things I've done in a while. I really like that. Few hours in, I'm feeling pretty good. Wind is about the same, sadly, and I'm finally at that point where it is not comforting to see another human.
Exit now.
So it's sometime past midnight, and that last probably 5 kilometers has been the worst wind I've experienced on the trip so far. It was so bad that I had to lean my bike into the wind, so I was pedaling at an angle, otherwise it would blow me over. And then it would suddenly stop and you'd have to catch yourself. So I'm going to have a little bit of a rest. But yeah, that was definitely brutal. And it's definitely not letting up yet.
Officially halfway done. What I just did, I'm gonna do again. Look what just came down with the wind. Lovely. I have gotten to that point where my brain just is kind of vegetable state. And I accidentally just snapped out of a long thought about trying to figure out what every room in grade school that I had looked like and where it was located. And I did pretty good with it, except for grade 5 Miss Thompson's class. I cannot remember what it looked like. Nothing against her, I just can't remember. I do remember that in that class she one time said she'd give us a movie pizza party if all of us got above like a B on this test, and we did it. And the smartest person in the class got to choose the movie from the library, and he comes back with the most boring movie possible, and we were all upset. But that man did his research. He had figured out what the longest movie in the library was, and it turned out to be like 4 hours. And so we didn't have to do math class for like more than a week because this movie just went on and on. He was a mad genius. Check out this monstrosity. That last section was like nothing I've experienced before. The wind was so strong. It felt like you were playing hockey with Scott Stevens, an invisible Scott Stevens that could just randomly come up and just hit you on either side. And I'd say it was just as much mentally exhausting as it was physically. Yeah. I'm at that point where there's a lot of random gibberish coming out. If it's a single stall restroom, what's the point of putting a gender on it? It's a sink and a toilet. Why don't you just say you have 2 bathrooms and it's first come, first serve? I don't get it. The world is so quiet without humans. There should never be a 4-way stop. There should always be 2-way stop with 2 lanes able to go. There's no reason for all 4 cars have to stop and be idle. It's so pointless. If there's a need for a 4-way stop, a roundabout is the perfect solution. Keeps things in motion. Nobody is sitting idle. And if you really need a 4-way stop and the roundabout won't do, you already need a stoplight. That's all I gotta say about that. Good on you, France, for your roundabouts. Trees are like the hair follicles of Earth, just with a lot of split ends. No kidding. Oh, it's so cold. It's a popsicle.
In 250 meters on the roundabout, take the first exit.
So I finally hit the hill section, which I knew was coming. It means I'm in the last third of the journey, about 45k. And I know the hills are right when I'm the most tired, but it means I'm getting close. So they're happy hills. I don't know what just happened, but they just put a massive climb here at the end that I was not expected. Probably one of the biggest climbs I've done on the entire tour. And it comes at like 210 kilometers in today. Absolutely destroyed me. Hope. And it looks like it's still going. So I am here. It's roughly 4:30 in the morning, and I even got to stop by a little bakery that was still open because I am quite famished. The last 10 kilometers were absolutely freezing, so I'm going to try to pop in this hostel, see if I can at least make a cup of tea, and then make plans from there. But mission accomplished.